Georgy Shpagin, a remarkable Soviet weapon designer, is an inspiring figure who rose from humble beginnings to contribute greatly to his nation during one of its most critical moments, World War II. His journey is one of hard work, ingenuity and resilience against the odds, much like the weapons he designed, which helped change the course of history. Early life and struggles. Georgy Shpagin was born on April 29, 1897, in a small village in the Russian Empire to a peasant family. Growing up in poverty, Shpagin had little formal education and, like many young boys from rural backgrounds at the time, he was forced to work from an early age to help his family. He worked as a carpenter, blacksmith and labourer, acquiring mechanical skills that would later serve him in unexpected ways. Though he had no formal technical education, Shpagin had a natural talent for working with his hands, and he developed a keen sense for mechanics and engineering, despite never attending a formal engineering school. In 1916, during World War I, Shpagin was conscripted into the Imperial Russian Army, where he was exposed to firearms and military equipment for the first time. This experience ignited a passion in him for weaponry and military technology. Even though he was a low-ranking soldier, he observed the design and mechanics of firearms and began to think about how they could be improved. Transition to weapon design. After the Russian Revolution and the establishment of the Soviet Union, Shpagin's mechanical abilities came to the attention of Soviet military authorities. He was sent to work in a weapons factory where his practical experience with machinery allowed him to quickly rise through the ranks. It was here that his engineering talents truly began to shine. Despite lacking formal training, he was known for his incredible work ethic, his resourcefulness, and his ability to simplify complex mechanisms. In the 1930s, Shpagin began working alongside renowned Soviet arms designer Vasily Degtyaryov. Together, they worked on machine guns, with Shpagin contributing improvements that simplified production and made the weapons more reliable. His contributions were vital in an era when the Soviet Union was rapidly industrializing its military capabilities in preparation for future conflicts. The creation of the PPSH-41. Shpagin's defining moment came during World War II. The Soviet military needed an efficient, reliable and easily mass-produced submachine gun for its infantry as it faced the onslaught of Nazi Germany's invasion in 1941. The challenge was enormous to it. The Soviet Union needed weapons that could be produced quickly and cheaply, but also withstand the harsh conditions of battle, especially in the brutal Russian winters. At that time, the Soviet army was using the PPD-40 submachine gun designed by Degtyaryov. While it was effective, it was complex and expensive to manufacture in large numbers. Shpagin believed he could design something simpler, cheaper and more reliable. Something that could be mass-produced quickly to arm the Red Army, as it faced one of the largest invasions in history. In just a few short months, working day and night under intense pressure, Shpagin developed the PPSH-41, which would go on to become one of the most iconic submachine guns of World War II. The PPSH-41, or Shpagin machine pistol, was revolutionary for its time. It had a simple blowback mechanism which made it much easier to produce than earlier models, and it could be made with stamped metal parts, reducing production time and cost. The PPSH-41 could fire 900 rounds per minute, and it was extremely reliable in harsh conditions, whether it was freezing cold, muddy, or wet. Its drum magazine could hold 71 rounds, giving Soviet soldiers a powerful advantage in close-quarters combat, particularly in urban battles. The weapon's simplicity and effectiveness made it a favorite among Soviet troops and a symbol of Soviet resistance against the Nazi invasion. The PPSH-41 was mass-produced on an unprecedented scale, with over 6 million units made during the war. It became the standard issue for Soviet infantry and was especially prominent in the Battle of Stalingrad, one of the most pivotal battles of the war. Soviet soldiers armed with Shpagin's weapon fought bravely, often using the PPSH-41's high rate of fire to great effect in the tight, brutal street fighting that characterized much of the Eastern Front. The success of the PPSH-41 played a crucial role in helping the Soviet Union turn the tide of the war. Its ability to be quickly and cheaply manufactured allowed the Soviet military to arm millions of soldiers at a critical time when they were facing severe shortages of equipment. The simplicity of the design meant that even factories not traditionally associated with weapons production could be converted to make PPSH-41S. Shpagin's contribution was not just in the weapon itself, but in the larger idea of adaptability and innovation under pressure. His design philosophy was rooted in making the complex simple and effective, and this mindset was exactly what the Soviet Union needed to survive and eventually triumph in one of the most destructive conflicts in history. For his work, Georgy Shpagin was recognized as a hero of socialist labor, one of the highest honors in the Soviet Union, and he was awarded the prestigious Stalin Prize in 1941 for his contributions to the war effort. He became a symbol of the Soviet spirit of ingenuity, resilience, and the ability to overcome overwhelming odds. His design not only shaped the outcome of World War II, but also set a precedent for future weapon designs around the world. Shpagin's story is one of perseverance, the power of practical knowledge, and the ability to rise above limitations, whether they be poverty, lack of education, or the immense pressures of war. He never received formal training, but his natural talent, combined with hard work and an unshakable belief that he could make a difference, allowed him to create one of the most effective weapons of the 20th century. Shpagin's legacy lives on, not only in the millions of soldiers who were equipped with his weapon during World War II, but also in the broader lesson that ingenuity and determination can overcome almost any obstacle. His life teaches us that it's not always about having the best resources or education. It's about having the will to solve problems, the tenacity to work through challenges, and the belief that no matter how difficult the circumstances, you can find a way to succeed. This story of Georgy Shpagin highlights his determination, practical brilliance, and how he used his mechanical skills to impact the world, even without the privilege of formal education. His ability to turn adversity into success makes him an inspirational figure in history.